Okay, we're going? Okay.
We're on.
We're on. Okay. So, good morning.
Good morning.
Almost good afternoon on a Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday morning.
A very happy Sunday morning.
I am very happy to welcome Lata S. Singh to Auroville once again. Lata is an actress who we have worked with before on several plays. You'll learn more about that in a little bit. But anyway, good morning.
Very good morning to you, Jill.
How are you?
Hello. I've been well. And how are you doing?
Yes, good. So Lata is here to work with us on Anton Chekhov's comedy called A Marriage Proposal. But yes, as I mentioned before, it's not the first time that Lata has come. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the other plays that you've done with the Auroville Theatre Group?
Yes, sure. First, I would like to start by thanking you for calling me back.
You're very welcome.
It's very nice to be back. It's like I'm breathing oxygen again. You know,
oh, wow.
Coming back to this place, coming back to theater, coming back to Kripa.
So and you have been where in the meantime?
I was in Mumbai for the last 5 years.
Okay.
Doing some writing. I have been trying to develop some plays, one solo play and 2 characters play, but they're still kind of
in the works.
They're work in progress.
Okay, sure. I know that feeling.
Which never seems to be like nowhere in completion line or in sight.
You don't have an end date in mind?
No.
Just
no.
When you're inspired, you write.
Yeah, maybe it comes to me, or maybe I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Apart from the theater playwriting, I've been doing some documentary script writing as well. I did script writing for a documentary on farmers' protest. It's directed by Chittagong director Bedabrata Pain. It's very nice, very powerful. So I wrote the Hindi script.
Okay.
And after doing 10 years of ghostwriting, this is the first time that I have been credited.
Wow.
Like given a credit.
Wow.
As a writer. So,
congratulations.
So I was very happy.
10 years.
After 10 years of ghostwriting, yes.
Takes them that long, huh? To recognize, to be able to put your name on something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's nice.
But you persisted.
And I prevailed.
And you prevailed. So be inspired by this. It takes work. Yeah, it takes work and
years of work.
And years of work.
Yeah. And now I'm back to do this lovely comedy one-act play by Anton Chekhov. It will be directed by Jill Navar. And before this, I have done 3 productions with Auroville Theatre Group and you. My first one was Obediently Yours, Orson Welles. It's written by American playwright Richard France. So I was the stage manager and the sound technician in that play. Then we went for Midsummer Night's Dream.
Midsummer Night's Dream, yes.
I played Hermia.
Right.
And then we went on for A Streetcar Named Desire. Yes. Every actor's dream. Every female actor's dream to play Blanche.
Yeah.
And every male actor's dream to play Stanley.
Yeah. So it's it really draws you in, doesn't it?
Yes.
You want to be able to manifest this person.
Yes.
Why is that? Why is that story such a big attraction to actors?
I think it's the writing, the same thing you were saying the other day. I think it's the writing. It's poetic, but it's filled with nuances, and it has like characters, like many characters. Blanche, Stanley, Mitch, Stella, more other characters.
Yes.
But every character is written so well, and it's filled with nuances. And when we were doing the play, you told us that, or we came across this fact that he based Blanche on his sister.
Sister, yes.
That was like a revelation to me. Then I looked up his sister.
He had quite an interesting protective relationship with his sister,
Younger?
who was mentally retarded.
Younger sister? Elder?
That's a good question. I don't know if she was younger or older.
Yeah, that's not on internet as well.
I told you, that I met them. That was really one of the thrills of my early years, in that I took an opportunity when I was living in Florida, and Tennessee Williams was living in Key West in the south of Florida. And he had come for a book signing, his autobiography. So I had an idea that I wanted to see if he would take something of my early work. I had written a play which was probably very much disguised as a Tennessee Williams play.
Really?
Yeah, because I was very influenced by him.
Of course, yeah.
And the style of my writing of that play, I remember, was very much like the poetic, dramatic style.
Yeah.
Anyway, I saw him at the book signing, and I remember shaking his hand. It was very soft hands. And his sister was sitting right beside him.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was quite an experience. I mean, I wanted to stand there forever, but I had people behind me.
Yeah.
So I couldn't. I just said, we have friends in common. That's what I said. And he looked at me kind of quizzically. And I said, yeah. I said, Hart Crane and Emily Dickinson, who are two great American poets. Yes. And he often uses epigrams from their poems. And he smiled at me. It was quite touching.
Of course.
Quite touching. Anyway, yes. Yeah. A Streetcar, and then now.
Anton Chekhov.
Yes.
A Marriage Proposal. Marriage Proposal.
I think a marriage. Yes.
A Marriage Proposal.
And sometimes it's called a proposal. But I think I want to use the term marriage, so our audience will have a hint of what they're going to come to see. So
yes.
And you and Svar and Ojas.
Yes.
That's my cast.
The trio.
Yeah. And have you've played comedy because you did Midsummer Night's Dream.
Yes.
But this is a very different kind of comedy.
Oh yes, that was Shakespeare. So Shakespeare, now I'm realizing how different it is, because Chekhov is using this play as a farce, to make a slapstick about the conditions of 19th century Russia at that point of time.
Yes.
The whole landowner situation. It's very beautifully written, and it's my first Chekhov. So
okay, me too. Oh. Yes, both new Chekhovians. Yes.
High five.
High five. Yes, we're both doing Chekhov for the first time.
Yeah.
And for me as a director, you encounter the playwright. You try to figure out what was going on in his mind. What is it that's important about this play? Where should we look? What should we emphasize? What is relevant and meaningful for us today?
Yes.
That's ultimately the question I always ask.
Yes.
When I'm directing.
Yeah, but now we are doing this in 2024 here in India.
Yes.
So how would you ask us actors to relate to 19th century Russia?
Yeah, I mean, in many ways, from what discussions I've had,
yes,
the story is very relatable in India. There's a father seems to be raising by himself a daughter. The mother is nowhere. And that's her, yes, the daughter. And there's a neighbor who comes to call to ask for the hand of his daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And the neighbor has some obstacles.
Some ailments.
Yeah, I don't want to give away the whole plot because you have to come and see it.
Yes,
but
please.
When I've discussed this story,
Mm-hmm.
the thing that cropped up most was this issue of land and how important in Russia, how important in India.
Yes.
The question of land,
yes.
land ownership, who owns the land, who gets the land, who buys the land.
Yeah.
That is still a relevant question in families today.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
So,
and we spoke a great length about it.
Yes.
We shared our own personal experiences to get into how land matters here
Yes.
in India, in families.
Yes.
So it leads to sometimes gruesome circumstances.
Yeah, there can be a lot of emotion.
Yes,
attached
involved.
to this subject.
Yes.
So in that way, it's very interesting
mm-hmm.
to see how our audience reacts. And
so that's a good point. That's a common ground.
Yes.
Okay, land as a dispute. Sure.
Yeah.
So that was a point for me to most easily accessible because, okay, I can understand why she's not going away to give away the plot.
Yes. Let's not do that.
Yeah. All right.
Yes.
So yes, that was the common ground, I think, to get into the understanding of it. Why does it matter? Because it matters. It's a piece of land. It's ancestral land. So you
want to protect it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
At one point, he uses the term land grabber.
Mm-hmm.
So you call me a land grabber. And that is very much an insult in this story.
Mm-hmm.
People wanting to take your land illegally.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And it's a comedy.
Yes.
So he has tackled his subject in a comic,
yes.
in a comic fashion.
Yes.
Yeah. When we're doing Shakespeare, most of the Shakespeare plays we've done have been tragedies. Because, of course, as a director, you want to work on the great Shakespeare tragedies.
Oh, yes.
So I've worked on 2 comedies. This Midsummer Night's Dream and Twelfth Night.
Twelfth Night.
But Twelfth Night, I was the stage manager.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guest director who came. So this is only the 3rd comedy.
Yeah.
And I love to work with comedy because there's not much that you can plan in advance. For me personally, that the inspiration for how the actors will move and what they will do, what are their actions, comes very spontaneously from watching you guys.
Yes.
So and your 3 of you are very inspiring. So,
we are?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, because comedy for me, of course, Midsummer Night's Dream was one text. It's Shakespearean comedy. It's different from this one because it's a little bit more realistic.
Yes.
The text is more realistic. It's much more day-to-day conversation. So and like you have been saying, it's all about timing. So comedy is all about timing. So I think that's a very good point for me as an actor or whosoever aspires to be a comedy actor.
Yes.
So I think the point, the turning point for me was realize the text, that it's okay, it's relatable because it's related to land. Then I put another element, which is timing. So now I have to just mix it together, or we all three of us to mix it together. Put it in physical, some kind of physicality, some kind of it, because you keep saying it's a farce, and it's
related to farce.
Yeah, what was the term? Commedia.
Commedia. It's related even going back to the medieval times.
Yeah,
these characters are very much resemble the characters of Italian commedia dell'arte. So there's the anxious father, the the nervous lover and the young ingenue.
Mm-hmm.
These are stock characters from Commedia,
Mm-hmm.
and they have been passed down from generation to generation,
Mm-hmm.
and they're still relevant today.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're watching any kind of comedy on television or situation comedy,
Yeah.
these characters are still there. They're still there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of fun to work on this.
Yes, and also another thing that I was liking what you have been also saying, find the physicality of the characters,
Mhm.
because in comedy, it's, of course, you have to also be able to deliver the lines in
Yes.
terms of like some kind of physical.
But
you
it's
know.
not only, in this case, it's not only based on the language, the
Uh-huh.
words, but
Okay.
it's the freedom to be silly. We give ourselves permission.
But without being like, without trying to being so funny, you know.
Yes, yes, no. It's not
Yeah.
about trying to be funny.
Yeah, because
It's to see how far you can go, yeah, with this physical silliness and still keep within the bounds of the story. It's a lot of fun.
yeah.
Yeah, like we did the other day with that action. I won't tell you what it was, but
it was really nice.
yeah,
Such nice.
yeah.
I mean, like all three of us talking to you about this, because we didn't had words, no. So we found some physical movements
Yes.
and actions and some moments that became like really,
And
really
you can't
fun.
plan this in
No.
advance. It's not possible.
Yeah.
So anyway, this is a journey with a marriage proposal,
Yes.
and I hope that we continue to take this journey many, many, many times.
Yes.
So thank you, Lata.
Thank you so much for
You're-
having me back.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
again.
and thanks for watching. And please stay tuned for a marriage proposal.